The sun climbs over the horizon, its light catching the surface of the Nile. This is the source of all life, the artery of a civilization. Before the pharaohs, before the pyramids etched their shapes against the sky, there was this river, and the people who lived by its rhythm. This is not a story of gods or kings, but of a single, ordinary day, lived thousands of years ago. As the first rays of light touch the mud brick homes, a farmer named Kenaman stirs. There are no grand monuments in his world, only the quiet promise of the sun and the work that lies ahead. The air is cool, filled with the scent of wet earth and baking bread. Life begins not with a grand decree, but with the simple, timeless act of waking up to a new day. This is ancient Egypt, as it was truly lived. The day's labor begins almost immediately. In the fertile fields flanking the Nile, Kenaman and his sons guide a simple wooden plow pulled by oxen. The dark, rich soil, a gift from the annual flood, is ready for planting. Their movements are practiced, efficient, a choreography passed down through generations. They don't think of building an empire, they think of the grain they need to feed their family and pay their taxes. A few miles away, in a dusty workshop, a craftsman named Tahatep chips away at a block of limestone. He is not carving the face of a god, but a small, intricate amulet for a neighbor. His tools are basic: a copper chisel, a wooden mallet, but his skill is immense. The sound of his work is a steady rhythm in the morning air. In a nearby communal bakery, women grind grain between heavy stones, their arms strong from the daily effort. The flour is mixed with water and yeast, kneaded into loaves, and placed in clay ovens. The smell of fresh bread, a staple of life, fills the narrow streets. Elsewhere, a group of boys, sons of officials and scribes, sit cross-legged on the floor of a small school. They are not learning of myths or magic, but the practical art of writing. This is where the future of the state is forged. An old, stern scribe named Imhotep drills his students in the complex symbols of hieroglyphs. They practice on ostraka shards of pottery or limestone because papyrus is too expensive for lessons. Each stroke of the reed brush is precise. This is not just art, it is data. This writing will be used to record harvests, track taxes, and manage the vast resources of the kingdom. The boys also learn mathematics. They calculate the area of a field to determine its yield. They measure the volume of grain silos. And they learn the principles of geometry needed to construct a simple canal or building. Their education is purely practical. It is the software that runs the hardware of the Egyptian state. A few streets over, a physician examines a worker who fell from a scaffold. His tools are not magical charms but bronze instruments, probes, forceps, and saws. He cleans the wound, sets the broken bone with a splint, and applies a dressing of honey, a natural antiseptic. This is Egyptian medicine, a blend of observation, experience, and a deep understanding of the human body. Knowledge is power, but here, it is also a tool for survival. The sun is higher now, and the machinery of the state is in full motion. In a small administrative office, a local official named Anku reviews papyrus scrolls. These are not grand historical texts, but mundane records, lists of taxpayers, inventories of grain stores, and work assignments for a new irrigation ditch. His job is to ensure the system runs smoothly. He is a small gear in a vast, efficient machine, a bureaucracy that allows the kingdom to manage its people and resources with remarkable precision. Outside, a few guards patrol the marketplace. They are not an army of conquest but a local police force, maintaining order, settling disputes, and ensuring merchants use honest weights and measures. The power of the pharaoh is distant, an abstract concept. Here, power is tangible. It is the official who records your grain, the soldier who keeps the peace, and the tax collector who will soon arrive to claim the state's share. This system of order, built on records and enforcement, is the true foundation of Egyptian civilization. It is less glamorous than a golden tomb, but far more important for the daily life of millions. As noon approaches, the heat intensifies. Work pauses for the midday meal. For Kenaman the farmer, it's a simple affair: coarse bread, a handful of dates, and some onions, washed down with beer. The beer is thick and nutritious, a staple of the Egyptian diet for everyone from laborers to officials. It's more of a food than a drink. In the town, Tautotep the craftsman shares a similar meal with his family. His wife has also prepared a small dish of boiled lentils. Their clothes are simple, practical garments made of linen, a fabric woven from the flax that grows abundantly along the Nile. The lightweight, white cloth is ideal for the Egyptian climate. In the bustling market, goods are exchanged not with coins, but through barter. A bag of grain might be traded for a pot, a pair of sandals for a bundle of fish from the river. Life is a constant negotiation. At home, family is the center of society. Children are cherished, and elders are respected. A man's worth is measured not just by his wealth, but by the family he raises. This is the rhythm of daily existence, a life defined by work, food, and family. Even in a world focused on the practicalities of life, the shadow of death is ever present. Not as a source of fear, but as a journey to be prepared for. In a workshop on the edge of the village, an embalmer is at work. This is not a macabre spectacle, but a sacred, technical craft. He carefully removes the internal organs, which will be preserved separately in canopic jars. The body is then packed in natron and natural salt to draw out all moisture. The process will take many weeks. This is done with a sense of respect and duty. The Egyptians believed that preserving the body was essential for the soul to navigate the afterlife. For them, death was not an end, but a transition to another form of existence. They imagined the afterlife as a continuation of this one, but without hardship, fields that were always fertile, and a life of eternal peace. Their elaborate preparations were not a morbid obsession, but a profound expression of hope, a belief that life, in some form, would continue beyond the grave. The sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the landscape. The intense heat of the day subsides. A gentle breeze blows in from the Nile. From the fields, Kenaman and his sons begin their walk home, their tools resting on their shoulders. The rhythmic chipping from Ptahhotep's workshop falls silent. In the towns and villages, the day's work is done. Families gather in their homes, the doorways open to catch the evening air. The light softens, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. There is a collective sigh of relief, a sense of completion. The Nile, which was a hub of activity all day, grows quiet. Fishing boats are moored along the banks. The water reflects the fading light, its surface calm and dark. This is a time for rest and reflection, for sharing stories and quiet moments with family. The day, with its joy and its small triumphs, is drawing to a close. The great cycle of labor and rest, a rhythm dictated by the sun and the river, completes another turn. As darkness settles, a few oil lamps flicker to life inside the homes, casting a soft, warm glow. The sky fills with a brilliant canopy of stars, unobscured by the glare of modern cities. The world becomes a place of sounds: the gentle lapping of the river, the chirping of insects, the distant bark of a dog. For these people, this day was not a chapter in a history book. It was simply life. They did not know they were building one of the world's greatest civilizations. They were not trying to leave a legacy for the future. They were farmers tending their crops, craftsmen honing their skills, scribes keeping records, and families sharing a meal. They were living, moment by moment, day by day, and in their ordinary lives, they created something extraordinary. This day is over, but tomorrow, the sun will rise again over the Nile. And it will all begin anew. Thank you for watching.